Hey guys, it's Sil. Welcome to my Dreamweaving beginner's tutorial. In this video, I'm going to essentially give a introduction on how to get started with your dream, and I'm also going to be explaining all the different tools that you have access to when making your dream. In Furcadia, you basically what you have is you have a map, you have a uh, code file or Dragon Speak. You also have patches. So in your patches, you have stuff like um, items, floors, and then it kind of includes all that stuff, but also like marble skin. I guess patches kind of covers a lot of stuff. So basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to list a number of tools. So tools, Dreamweaving. Okay, so the first one is the map editor. You also have Dragon Speak constructor, I guess you could just call it that. Um, you have those two kind of go together. You also have the FSH editor, Fox editor, PCX editor, and Skinner or Skin editor. I guess I'll just call it Skin editor. So these are basically what you have access to for making your dream. Let me show you what these all look like. So to begin with, opening the different tools, let's see what they actually have. So they actually do have the dream editor, patch editor, and script editor right here in Furcadia. When you're in game on the C tab, you actually do have access to these three. The patch editor is just the Fox editor. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you where you can find these applications on your computer. So for me, I'm showing you I'm showing you one of the two Furcadia files. Now, when I say that, I really do mean that there's two Furcadia files. When you install Furcadia, you get one in your documents folder, which is this one, which holds your dreams and stuff like that. I don't really use all these. I don't really use all these folders, and I don't think anybody does. But at least the dreams folder, um, I use. But of course, you also have this one, which is the one that goes in your program files. And this one is the one that holds everything important, including like the basic files needed to run the client. It's also got default patches in here. Um, and it has all of the tools, the applications that I was just talking about, which is these 6 things. So to start, here's the Dream Editor. Now, you can call it the you can call it Dream Editor, but I want to call it the Map Editor because uh, I think Um, I think the name Dream Editor is it's a little misleading. This is not the only tool you use to make your dream. In fact, it's only one of 6, and all it really does is allow you to edit the map. So what this basically gives you access to is customization through items, floors, walls, effects, regions, ambiance, and lighting. Of course, you don't have to use all of these. You could use just some objects if you wanted. But this is the Dream Editor. Otherwise, what I call the map editor. So another thing you can do is in the patches tab right here and in dream settings, you can actually choose a bunch of settings for your dream, including the name. But you can also, this is really important right here, this patches section, you want to click on this. I want to use files from this folder. You're going to hit browse and you're going to go and find your dream. And in this case, it's just this right here. Or if you have a patches folder, you hit OK. And now everything in your patches folder will be uh, implemented. That also has access directly to the DragonSpeak constructor right here. So this is usually where I actually open the DragonSpeak constructor. But I believe you can find it in here too. I guess here's the DS editor. My guess is this is the old one. Let's open it. Oh, no, this is yeah, this is the old one. This is the old DragonSpeak editor. So I wouldn't use this one anymore. You can, but I wouldn't. So I guess in that case I'll just actually do have one open right here. I'll close it. I don't even know what's open in there. Oh, I guess I was just messing around with some stuff. So I'll close this, please. There we go. And I'll show you when you click Run DS Editor, you actually need to save your dream. So you can't open the DS Editor for a dream you haven't saved yet. So if I was going to save this, I could save it, as whatever. I'm just going to call it whatever. So this is my dream. I'm going to save this here. Um, and then you can open the DS Editor. So this opens up to DS Constructor. And here is the DS Constructor. So this is where you put all your code. This is pretty much where all the magic happens. The best way to look at it is that this code is like a list of instructions for your dream to function how you want it to. So for example, right here, you just have when a player arrives in a dream, you move them straight to this spot. This is actually automatically put into your code when you make a new map, but I don't actually think that this line is actually required. I'm not entirely sure. I think it'll still put you in the dream if this doesn't exist. I haven't tried it in a while. But you have access to so much in here, and I actually have like all the lines turned on. But essentially, you have lots of causes, additional conditions, areas of filters, effects, and I'll go more in detail with these later in like a different video, not this one. Otherwise, it would be like, well, I don't need like a 24-hour video as my first video, okay? So, let's see. So, essentially, all you really need to know about this is that this is where you put in all the instructions you want for your dream to do whatever you want it to do. This is going to be most of the logic of your dream is going to be in here. Okay, so that's the Dragon Speed constructor. It's this one. So next we have, so I guess I could just say like this is like landscape. Then you can call this one is like logic. So this is like, or like instructions for your dream. Okay. So now you have these two which go together. It's the FSH editor and the Fox editor. So let me really quick just show you what those are. If you've never seen them before, you can actually access them right here. You click Patch Editor, and it shows up. This is actually the Fox editor. But also, let me show you the FSH editor, which is this one. So you can actually access these right here in the folder in your program files. But here's the Fox editor. Here's the FSH editor. So I'm going to open the FSH editor as well, and you can see they both have the same icon. Actually, they kind of look similar, and you would be right in thinking that this is a clear evolution of technology. This is the old editor for patches, and this is the new one. So basically, they do kind of the same thing, but this one is more recent. It also has access to way better colors. It's all 32-bit colors. You can customize as much as you want. You have a color picker. Um, you have access to your animation setup, which I'll explain later in a different video. In fact, I think a couple of videos would be really good just to go through the Fox editor and all the cool stuff that it does. Um, and of course, you also have the FSH editor, which is still used. If you think it's outdated, it is outdated, but it's still used a little bit at least. And it's basically only used for one file, which is for DS buttons. So let me go ahead and show. So when you go into I'm getting a little confused here. So, okay, here we go. So when you go to this patches file, this one, you'll see that you have all of these default patches. Now, you're probably wondering like where these are used. So the thing is that these are automatically accessible in everyone's client. So when you say you open up the map editor and you see all these pillows and these, blocks and all this stuff, these are all default patches. And so when you make a dream, you don't even need to have an items file in here at all. Now I have an item in here, but this is different. So items.fox is which one is it? I find it. Here it is. Items of Fox. This is the file that literally has all of the default items in it. So it includes all the pillows, the blocks, all that stuff. Um, but I actually don't need to have this file in my folder in order to make my dream. You can see that I have access to these anyway. And that's because this is the default folder where every client and Furcadia has access to automatically, and you can take them, like for example here, I got this item efox, um, that you can paste it in here and it gives you access to customizing that file. So basically, to sum this up, this is old patch editor, still used for DS buttons, .fsh, and this is new patch editor. I don't want to say old, and I'm going to say like outdated. Patch editor, items, floors, avatars, um, you know, stuff like that. Okay. Now the last two are sort of outdated. They kind of go along with the FSH editor, and they kind of do need an update. Um, Basically, the PCX editor, which you can find, and you can just search PCX editor on your computer. It'll be the first thing that pops up. But here it is. You can find it directly in this programs file, the application. You open it up, it looks like this. So what does this look like? It just looks like this. It looks like the FSH editor. Uh, and that's because they basically have the same setup, except PCX editor is specifically designed to edit a marbled file of a dream. So it's very specific. This is used just to edit. Like, and here's like the marbled PCX for and so when I open this, you'll see that this is basically customized. It looks terrible. I'm sorry. It's really ugly. I drew this myself. I'm not much of an artist, but this is the marble that I use, the PCX that I use for my own dream, which I can show exactly what you're looking at. It's this stuff on the side, up here, down here, and I have completely customized the tabs and so on. This dream just does a lot of customization. So now that you've seen the PCX editor, this is just for, I want to say, kind of called the skin background. Sorry, you can tell I'm tired, like I just woke up. Um, okay, so that's the skin background editor, specifically. Use it to edit your background. Um, and then you have the skin editor, which doesn't edit the background of your skin, but it does use it. So, for example, let's say I find the skinner. Here it is. This is the skinner. This is what it looks like. It's a small box. You can't even like increase the size because it's meant to be the same size as the Furcadia box. You can move any of these buttons and tabs. Like I could move the font button wherever I want it, or I could move the pounce button over here. And when you enter my dream, my pounce button would actually be over here. Um, you can do that with the tabs. You can take buttons. You can hide them. You can remove them completely, or you can keep them there, or you can put them on different tabs, or you can just make them always visible and put them wherever you want. You know, you could just some weird stuff like whatever. Take this and put it up here and make it visible always, something like that. You can also move like the username. You can move the portrait box wherever you want it. This is where everybody customizes the layout of their dream. And you can see there's a lot going on here, but essentially this is what gives you access to completely customizing your skin. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Just, I don't know how else to describe this other than edit the skin or the GUI, whatever. So to sum this up, this is just a list of tools that you can use to make your dream. I think that's pretty much it. So now that you know what the tools are, I'll make some future videos that will let you know exactly how to use them. Okay, so for the last thing for me to show you how to place your dream. So basically all you really have to do is you have to make sure you saved. So whatever dream you save last will be the dream that you upload. Then you can find a portal like this. You just hit the place button. And there it is. And you go in and here you are. So anyway, thanks for watching guys. Let me know if you have any questions. So see you around.